A woman is seen calling her husband in the woods late at night when the sight of him in front of her makes her scream in fear. Many years later, 10-year-old Willow watches her mother, Imogen, take her father, Noah, and a pig into the car and drive away. The family lives far away in the middle of the woods. Willow seems to have some respiratory issues, probably asthma, making her live around an oxygen cylinder at all times. Knowing there's something that is hidden from her, curiosity has started to get the best of her. And now she sneaks around watching how her mother takes her father away at night every once in a while and then comes back without him, and listening to the hushed talks about her family and tries to fathom what the possible situation could be. The constant whispers of those conversations and her weird nightmares start making her more curious with every passing day. She can see that every time this happens, her dad returns looking exhausted and covered in blood, but Imogen somehow dodges all of Willow's questions. However, Imogen isn't that good at hiding the fear on her face. On another night, Willow sneaks near her parents' room and hears Noah talk about getting worse and doing something to Imogen while Imogen tries to calm him down. The next day, Imogen takes Willow to the market for shopping. During the drive, Imogen suddenly stops and changes into a nicer outfit. After that, she allows Willow to drive the car, giving the two of them some fun mother-daughter moments. In the market, Willow shops for a beautiful dress, and then the two of them come home, Imogen back in her usual outfit. Noah greets them happily as they come back. He starts messing around with Willow by snatching her dress and making her jump around for it. However, he suddenly freezes, making Willow freeze too, as he sniffs the air around her before smiling again and going back to messing with her. The next time Willow witnesses Imogen take Noah away, curiosity seems to have finally killed the cat as she follows the two of them. In the middle of the woods, she watches Imogen and Noah go into a shed-like place where Imogen is tying Noah's neck to a chain as the two of them tell each other nothing changes, and then Imogen comes back out, locking the door. Willow is weirded out by this sight, and once Imogen gets out, she decides to crawl in through the bars in the door and look inside. Luckily, Imogen catches the sight of her and rushes back, telling her not to go in. By the time Imogen catches up to Willow, she has already witnessed the sight of her father turning into a monster. Imogen has to pick her up and rush her back home to get her oxygen mask on. The next few days pass in the heaviest silence in the house, with Willow still traumatized and Noah and Imogen in pain that her daughter had to witness that. Willow decides to go to her granddad, Waylon, but the parents selfishly bring her back to the house, not bothering about how disturbed she is. Willow comes back home, but all the weird instances keep flashing in front of her eyes, making her head feel like it could explode any time. One night, Willow freaks out about someone being at the door, but it's her granddad. Waylon tells her to pack her stuff as they're leaving, to which Willow complies. As the two are driving, Noah and Imogen catch up to the car, stopping it, and telling Willow to come back with them. Waylon calls Noah a monster and tells them Willow isn't safe there, but the two of them don't want Willow to be away from them. Noah's violent pulling to get Willow out with him makes Waylon punch him in the neck till he passes out. Imogen shouts at her father, calling him a monster, and then tells Willow she's coming back with them even if she hates them. The next day, Noah shouts at Willow to get into the car with them and takes her to the same shed. Sitting there, he narrates the story about his family being cursed. His grandfather used to turn into a werewolf every full moon but hid it from his wife. When the grandmother decided to follow him one time, she didn't live to question him the next day. Traumatized by what he did, Noah's grandfather shot himself. This story was narrated to Noah by his father, someone who wasn't a nice father to him. Noah then breaks down that he didn't want to carry this cursed family legacy, but he cannot control it. Willow hugs her father to console him, realizing this may not be in his control. A few days later, Noah is cutting down trees when Willow tells him she wants to give it a try. Noah creates a wild story that he is the king of the woods and he owns them here. He then dramatically makes Willow kneel and makes her swear allegiance to the forest and that she'll protect the family. He then pronounces her the Princess of the Woods. Later on, the two are enjoying their sandwich in the back of the car when Noah gets up to get her some tea. He notices a cloth underneath the driving seat. It is the dress Imogen wore to the city. Sniffing it, he gets very angry and violently forces Willow to get in the passenger seat before driving away. That night, Willow has to lie under her bed with her mask on as she tries to drown out the shouting of her father, accusing her mother of cheating on him. However, the next day, things have reached a calm. As Willow's birthday arrives, Imogen gives her miniature versions of her pigs and their car and some matchsticks. because Willow likes to play house with Matchstick's house matching theirs in figures resembling the family rather than fake ones. Waylon visits them once again, gifting a puppy to Willow. That is a happy day for all of them, ending with Willow confirming from Imogen that they're safe in this house, and Imogen telling her she'll never let anything harm Willow. Later on, Willow decides to build the shed with her matchsticks and plays, reminiscing how her mother goes on and ties Noah before coming back, while the scenario plays out for real too. At night, Willow is sleeping when she hears Noah whispering for her to let him in. Waking up, she breaks the matchstick door to her house, but one of the sticks goes inside her nail and her nail comes out. Before she can completely freak out about that, her body starts expanding and she realizes she's turning into a monster too. The shock makes Willow wake up from this nightmare, and she has to drag herself to get her mask on because of how breathless that left her. As Willow calms down with this, she gets up to drink water when she hears banging on the main door. Willow decides to go out and tries to open the door, assuming it's her dad, but Waylon comes there in time, taking her in. He lies that it was just wind, but after putting Willow to bed, he gets into an argument with Imogen because Imogen knows he's carrying a gun to shoot Noah if he comes here. Eavesdropping on them, Willow starts losing her breath after hearing Waylon say that Noah will come in and kill all of them. As she passes out on the floor, the two rush, hearing the thud from her fall. Since her tank is empty, Imogen rushes to get it from outside. Waylon shouts at her to hurry, but Imogen takes a moment to shout at the door that she won't let him harm Willow. Unfortunately, Imogen tripping while rushing in makes the gun fall out. As the two try to get Willow to breathe, they hear the main door slam open. Waylon tells them to hide and goes down to stop Noah somehow. However, he is late enough to get down that he can only try pushing the door. With Noah being a monster, he pushes open the door, making the antlers on the wall pierce through Waylon's body. Imogen hides with Willow, hoping she wakes up soon. As soon as she wakes up, Imogen has to put a hand on her mouth since Noah is out. Once they manage to dodge Noah, they slowly move down to escape. Hiding from the sight of Noah, Imogen manages to get out of the car and tells Willow to drive away if she doesn't come out with Waylon in a few moments. The two of them almost get caught, if not for Willow's help, but unfortunately the car doesn't work. Waylon decides to sacrifice himself to make the two of them run away. In the woods, the two of them are running as far as possible, but the one moment Imogen steps away from Willow to check if Noah is somewhere ahead of them, he appears from the back and drags Willow into the shed. Imogen rushes there and begs Noah's werewolf body to listen to her and not harm their daughter. She manages to get him to calm down and realize who he is and who they are. Imogen hugs him, begging him to come back. Noah is hugging back, but soon he recalls Imogen once telling him she likes him when he's not his monster self. The anger rushes back and Noah attacks Imogen. As Imogen tries to drag herself away from him, Willow recalls promising Noah to protect the family. Using the flame from the lantern and the pressure from her tank, Willow puts Noah on fire to save her mother. Some days later, this nightmare is over, and Imogen is packing for them to leave the forest. But Willow's dreams and whispers are still fresh. As Imogen puts her hand out for them to leave, Willow gets a visual of Noah in his human form hitting Imogen that night, and then calling Willow a little monster. The movie ends here, leaving us with an open ending insinuating that either Willow could be suffering from the same curse too, or maybe the curse wasn't the werewolf thing, but being abusive. It could be possible that Willow's 10-year-old brain visualized her father's abusive behavior as him turning into a monster sometimes, just to consider it an escape. Because her last flashback had Noah hitting Imogen in his human form, and Noah's bipolar behavior was visible during the entire picture as well. It has been left to the viewers how they perceive this ending.